Henry, how are you today, man? Good.
Great.
We're
Glad.
yeah, it's good day. You got basketball later today. I got basketball later today. I had
Yeah.
basketball earlier today, and we're gonna do
Yeah.
something a little different for the next few episodes that we're gonna do. We're gonna start interviewing as many of the Vancouver Bandits as we can. Some guys have been here before. Some guys are brand new to the team, and our guest that we have today is I'm not going to go into his whole experience because we're going to talk to him about his basketball history and how he's come to our team in Vancouver. But I'd like to introduce Miller Kopp.
How's it going, y'all? Good to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate the time that you're going to give us. And said what I told you before when I asked you if you could be on the show. Our whole idea is to just get people to know who Miller Kopp is. Vancouver
Cool.
Bandits and Vancouver area. We got a lot of basketball culture and a lot of fans of basketball. You'll see when you start playing games at the Langley Event Center, LEC, it's going to be packed and it's going to be loud and it's going to be exciting.
I'm super excited. I'm stoked.
Yeah. So if you're good with it, we're just going to jump right in.
Let's do it.
So first question I always ask is where did you grow up? Where are you from?
So I'm from Houston, Texas. So born and raised in Houston. And I've got one older brother, two younger brothers, and super, super competitive family. We all grew up playing sports. That was like the main thing we always did. And yeah, Houston, Texas.
How often do you get back home?
Honestly, since I went to college, and I've been a pro for 3 years now, so I was in college for 5 years, so 8 years now. Really, the only time I've been back in Houston is like in the off season or for maybe for Christmas for 2 or 3 days. So every year I'm back around 2 to 4 weeks maximum in Houston, but because I'm on the road, I'm traveling different teams and always training. So yeah, I don't get back as much as I maybe thought I would uh, when I left college.
Yeah, okay. So when you think of home then, because you're not there a lot, like what are some images that you think of when you go, okay, I'm thinking about Houston?
Well, for me, I think it's the especially basketball wise, it's like the basketball culture. There's so many people in Houston, but there's so many good athletes. One of the good affordances that I've had to grow up in Houston was that there's always such amazing competition. So I got to grow up with and compete against some of the best players in the country as I climbed the ranks from grade six to college. And eventually, you know, uh, it that kind of molded me into who I am as a player. So when I think of Houston, I think of the basketball culture, the people, and the experiences that I was able to have there, and obviously family. But my family's all over the country now, so that's really what I think of is the people, the experiences that I had growing up.
What first pulled you like toward basketball as a kid, and when did it start to feel like this was something you want to do for more than fun?
For me, I grew up playing every sport. Like I played soccer, tennis. My dad was a professional tennis player, so that was the first sport me and my brothers learned to play was tennis. And so I played tennis, soccer, football, baseball, basketball. I was on the swim team. Any sport you could play competitively besides hockey, because in Houston, hockey wasn't a thing, but I know up here in Canada it is. I was I was playing. And so I really took it serious when I was in about seventh grade. I told my dad, I said, I want to play Division I basketball. Like I just want to. And he asked me like 2 or 3 times. He's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, yes, I am sure." And so from then on, it was just full head of steam, 110% committed to just achieving that. So I think around seventh grade, that was when I like took the mental shift of, okay, I'm going to put all the other sports behind me. I love basketball. I love getting better at it. And I'm going to see, how far I can take it.
So was there ever like a moment you think in your childhood or obviously early teens where when you realize um, I can really do something with this. Like, yeah, like maybe you had a wicked middle school game and you're like, you felt that delusion, like, I want to take this all the way to the top.
You know what? I wish there was, but there never was, and I think that was a positive thing because, my journey with basketball was never, spurred on or decided by or motivated by, um, one moment or one game or one shot, and for me, it was a slow burn of, man, I love getting better. I loved the training. I loved the everyday grind of like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do absolutely everything I can to improve. And I loved that. I loved that process. And I became like addicted to that. So, um, for me, if there was any moment, it was, I forget how old I was, but I remember it was maybe eighth grade. Um, I remember going to a workout, just a normal workout. And growing up, we played a lot of one-on-one. So a lot of competition, like mano y mano, like we're just gonna compete. And I remember the coach, he matched me up with a girl who was in high school, who was like maybe a junior in high school, and I was in eighth grade. And I have three brothers, so I was never used to playing against a girl. Like I was never that was foreign to me. And so I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, I was kinda confused. I'm like, "Are you sure you want me to play this girl?" And turns out she was one of the best players in the country at the time, and she, like I wouldn't say she dominated me, but she gave me a really good run for my money. And that was a wake-up call where I was like, "Holy crap, like, I gotta get better. Like, I gotta really grind at this," because it opened my eyes to like, wow, there's people older than me, there's people better than me, there's girls out there who are training just as hard as me. I gotta step my game up. So for me, there were small kind of instances like that where man, I just it opened my eyes to there's a lot more I can do, and that was big for me.
Yeah, sports is a big culture in Texas. From what we hear out here, like you got Friday Night Lights, you got all the different major sports leagues. Is there a Friday Night Lights equivalent in the basketball world in Texas?
You know, I would say growing up, um, football in Texas, especially Houston, is so it eclipses even basketball, eclipses every other sport, especially in high school. Um, but I would say like the equivalent that we maybe had was um, these like preseason type tournaments in our high school kind of community to where like private schools would be matched up against the public schools, and you would get these matchups to where you would never see these games or these players play against each other unless it was in this kind of weekend. I forget what it was called, the event, but that was something you always look forward to because they would kind of match it up like, okay, this guy's ranked top 5 in the city. He's going to play this other guy who's ranked top 2 in the country, and battle it out. And so that was kind of something that kind of the basketball culture really looked forward to.
Right. And then, okay, so you went through your high school career, and then what university did you go to?
So I went to out of high school. I went to Northwestern University for 3 years, and then I transferred from there to Indiana University for my last 2 years. And so I played in the Big Ten my whole college career. So
Your whole college career. So looking back
yeah,
at that college journey, what parts of those experiences do you think prepared you for the professional level?
man, I think
Because obviously high school to elementary school to high school to college to your next level are so different.
yeah, yeah, I think for me, 5 years in college, I was able to kind of have every role um, that you can have as a player. So my freshman year, I just wanted to get playing time. I didn't care about anything else. I didn't care about points. I didn't care about shots. I just wanted to get on the floor. And I think that's a mistake a lot of players, make now is they have their mindset on some fantasy of like, man, I want to be the leading scorer as a freshman. Good luck, dude. That's not going to work. Like, I don't care. I'm sorry, a 5-star. I was a 4-star basketball player. I was ranked in the top 60 in the country. My goal when I came into college as a freshman was not average 10 points. It was to play as many minutes as I possibly can. Steal minutes on the floor. So that was my freshman year, and I did that. And then my sophomore year, we had some guys graduate, and I had the uptick in opportunity, and I took advantage of it. So I was the leading scorer my sophomore year. Then my junior year, still at Northwestern, um, I took a little bit of a back seat because our team was better and we wanted to win. Like we were close to kind of breaking through. So I was able to have in just 3 years go from freshman year just want to play, like I just want to get on the floor. The sophomore year, leading scorer, figure out how to do that. Junior year, third year, still score the ball, still have responsibility, but like be a leader. You know, it's your third year, you want to win. To then my fourth year, my first year Indiana, I was a new guy. So I was one of 3 transfers on the team. So I had to figure out how to get acclimated to a new school, a new team, a new coach. And that was a whole transition in itself. But through that, you learn a lot of skills and you gain a lot of ability um, to do that and transfer those to somewhere else. So now I have the ability, and I've kind of calloused myself in the fact that, man, I can go to, you know, the Vancouver Bandits, and I can come in and I don't know anybody on the team. I've never played with anybody, but I can come in and get acclimated quick. Like I don't need to wait. There's no lag time, because of those past experiences. And so it's stuff like that you don't know it in the moment, but those experiences that I had in college from freshman year to my 5th year, um, they help you get ready for the next level because the stakes are higher, the players are better, and you realize that um, people can get and can and will get fired if you don't do your job. And so that was a big kind of not wake up call, but a different just arena to be in. It was a different world to be in because the stakes were a lot higher. My 5 years in college, I really had the opportunity to learn a lot of those um, lessons that carried, still stay with me today.
That's great. That's great. Henry, we're going to start running out of time for you, Henry. So Henry, let's skip to number 11.
Yeah. This is actually, yeah, one of the ones that I thought of. So how did the Vancouver Bandits come into your professional conversation?
Yeah, so for me, it was, my agent had reached out to me and said, um, hey, there's this team in Canada, the CEBL. I'd heard of them before, not the Bandits, but just the league. And I had some buddies play on various teams throughout the years, and I was interested. I had an injury this past year that took me out for 2 months, and so I was looking to continue to play because I was out for 2 months. I wanted to keep playing, and so my agent just told me, "Hey, there's this opportunity. I've got some players who have played here before. It's a great organization and a great city and a great town. What do you think?" And so I said, I'm interested. And so I talked to Kyle, and we had like one, maybe 2 phone calls, but I think it was just 1 phone call. And by the end of the call, I was like, all right, I'm in, coach. Let's do it. And that was really it. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward because I kind of knew what I wanted. He sent me a lot of film and a lot of style of play stuff. And from there, it was just this decision was kind of made quick.
Yeah, he can be pretty persuasive, can't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have any real expectations of the CEBL? Like you've said, you had a couple buddies that you've known that have played in the league. Do you have any expectation of the areas and the towns and the cities that you're gonna be going to?
I have none. I've none really. I've none. I'm just, my only expectation was to get here and to just work hard. That was it. Like
Yeah.
that's the only thing I was focused on and really um prepared for because I know that, the work ethic, the professional habits, that stuff travels and it translates anywhere. So for me, I have no idea what to expect. I know it's a great league. I know it's getting a lot better, every single year.
Mhm.
So that's something I'm super excited for.
I know, like, down here in the CBL, we have target time, but I know you guys also, in the G League, they have target time. So how did the fans, down back home, like, how are they able to adjust to that version of the game that rather than the NBA where it's straight to the end of the clock?
Yeah, so in the G League, we had target time only in overtime, though, not for the ending of every game. So maybe close to maybe 5 or 10 games throughout the year, or throughout my career, we've had target time, and every time it's been super intense. Like it's a whole different ball game. But the one thing that's different though is that in the G League, it's overtime, and then it's target score, so it's tied basically 0-0. Whereas in the CBL, it could be anything, right? Like it could be up 20, down 20, and there's a still a target score.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting to me, and I haven't played in that, per se, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be super awesome.
And with Coach Kyle, like he himself, like that guy, he's obviously a well-known coach and he's very demanding and, with extreme toughness and the intensity that he brings, that he is. What is, one of the most absolute hardest drills or conditions that you guys have done so far this past week that's like, it's kind of shook in you and maybe reminded you of, the college days of, first week of college camp. And it's like, they want to see, what this freshman can really bring to the team.
Uh, I think just overall, there's a sense of urgency. I think, there's not a specific drill or
Miller, really appreciate you taking the time to come back. I know we had some technical glitches, and that's par for the world right now. So I just got a couple questions that we're going to talk about. We'll go into the quick hitters, and then we'll call it.
do it.
So one of the things, and you playing in the G League, coming up to the CBL training camps, are they similar?
You know what? They are in the sense that you have to cram a lot of information in a short amount of time. I think here even more so because um, it's a super new team and it's very fast paced. Like it's a shorter season, so you don't really have a lot of time to uh, put in maybe as a coach everything you want. But they are similar in the fact that you gotta you gotta kind of shred down and trim the fat for whatever you teach.
There's a lot of the, I would assume, a lot of the G League stuff. You've got the NBA camp, and then you come to the G League camp. So time frame is about the same.
The time frame, if you're just playing in the G League, the time frame is pretty similar. It's a week or two, and that's about it. Then you start games. But if you're with, like the NBA team, then you're there for a month, and then you roll into the G League, and that's another 2 weeks. For some guys, it can be really extended, but most of the time, it's still pretty short.
Yeah, yeah. And since our last recording that we did, it's been about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. So have you had a chance to get around Vancouver now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me and my fiance have been able to go downtown and do some hikes and explore and really just take in Vancouver, and it's awesome. We've been down to like I forget what beach, but we've been down to the beaches, walked around, and had some good food and sushi. So it's been good. It's been fun.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to doing on a personal level?
I think for me, just continuing to enjoy the weather and the sun and the scenery and nature and stuff. That's for me. I love that kind of stuff, and so being able to just to kind of keep diving into that stuff and maybe do some fishing, some golf. But I don't know how much time I really have for that stuff uh,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty focused on basketball. But overall, just being outside, being in nature is always.
Yeah, you should. We did an episode with Mulder, and he's a big fisherman as well. So I don't know if you talked to him. He's gone out a few times.
Yeah, he's mentioned it. I We got to go eventually, but I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think sturgeon fishing would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, last question I got here. High school, college, pro athlete. Like if you had something, if I said, give me a memory of pro basketball or anything that reminds you about basketball that's specific to Miller Kopp, not your team winning a championship, but if you had a memory of something that you've done or where you were, does anything just pop into mind?
Um, for me, it was the first thing that comes to mind is a camp I went to in high school. Um, it was like my first ever like nationally like ranked camp. I was kind of coming on the scene of high school basketball, and um, I remember I was real nervous going into it, but my coach at the time, and one of the best coaches I ever had growing up, especially, was um, told me, he was like, you're good enough. Like, you're good enough. Like, trust that. And so for me, that was a big moment for me, because it was like the first time I really stepped out of my comfort zone in terms of basketball and the players I was playing in the city, and played against a lot of really good and you know, highly talented players. And it was just a reminder that, like, hey, like, I'm good enough. And you just go out there and play like it, and prove it. So for me, that's one personal one that I'll always remember.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people forget that when they're at these camps, they're not there just to sit on the sidelines. They've got skill, they've got the ability, and they just got to trust themselves,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
you're there
So
for a reason. Yeah,
yeah, so good on you for that. Okay, so last segment that we do is a quick hitters. So we have 8 quick hitter questions. First kind of thing that pops your mind. If you want to expand, that's completely up to you. But if you're ready, here we go.
do it.
Uh, Pre-game snack. What
Pre and
meal?
snack is always like uh, some like sugar, some candy, some like sour candy or something like that, or
Okay,
or a Snickers maybe.
or a Snickers bar. There you go. Is there been a favorite shooter that you've studied kind of growing up before turning pro, or
Uh,
even now?
for for me, it was Clay Thompson and JJ Redick were big ones for me. Just watching their
Okay.
film.
Is there something that you define as the most underrated part of your game?
My competitive toughness.
I've seen you in some games just saying that guy hits you, hit him harder back. So I like that. Favorite superhero?
Mine would be Batman.
That man. Do you have a favorite song that you always make sure that you listen to when you're warming up?
No, not really, but I do like anything like Kings of Leon, like
Okay.
rock, like that.
Okay. Of all the cities that you've played in, pro otherwise, what's your favorite city?
Ooh, I gotta say my college town, Bloomington, Indiana, by far is my favorite.
A skill you're working on that people might not realize that you are actually working on.
Um, for me, I think just my passing. I think just so I can make better reads out of different actions and different plays and advantages. So just being a better passer with my reads and making the best reads possible.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, and I see you working on that in practice for sure. Last question. Go, LeBron, Jordan, someone else.
I think it's LeBron. It's got to be LeBron. The guy's a freak. He's a
He
freak.
is. Like, just watching him through the playoffs, like, I just can't believe that a 41-year-old continually do what he does at the
For
level that he does it. It's not just that he does it, but the level that
I mean, the guy's 41. It's crazy, and he's still dunking on people, and people are scared to take a charge on him. Like,
yeah.
that says something.
You think he's done? They just got eliminated.
I don't know. I think he'll have maybe one more year, but I don't
Yeah,
think it won't be like a championship run this year. It'll just kind of be like a farewell tour. That's my guess. I
yeah.
don't know.
Cream saw.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right on. Okay, that's it. I appreciate your time and coming back on and just kind of helping us put the rest of this back together. I know you got some rest that you got because game tonight, and we'll see you soon.
yeah. Sounds good, man.
Okay,
Thanks, Tom. Of
appreciate it again, Miller.
course.
All right, take
See
it
ya.
easy.